They were on top of the world. All-stars, MVPs, future Hall of Famers, and then one injury changed everything. Not a slow decline, not age, just one moment. And their careers were never the same again. This isn't about guys who got hurt and bounced back. This is about the ones who were never quite right again. Some had their primes erased. Some disappeared entirely. All of them left us wondering what could have been. These are the 10 most heartbreaking injury stories in NBA history, and how one bad break turned stars into cautionary tales. Number 10. Jabari Parker. Jabari Parker was supposed to be the safe pick. While Wiggins had the athleticism, Parker had the polish. A 6'8" forward with a smooth jumper, post moves, and elite footwork. He looked like the next big star out of Duke. And in his rookie season with the Bucks, he showed flashes. 12 points per game on efficient shooting. Until one night in December 2014. Torn ACL. Out for the season. He came back and played well. He averaged 20 points per game in year 3, but it didn't feel the same. The explosion was gone. The lateral quickness never fully returned. Then, another ACL tear. This time in the same knee. By 23, Jabari had torn the same ligament twice, and by 26, he was out of the league. For a player who once said they don't pay players to play defense, the margin for error was already thin. But the injuries made it nearly impossible to recover his footing, physically or reputationally. Jabari didn't lack talent, he lacked time. And now he's a cautionary tale, not because he failed, but because we never got to see what could have been. Number 9. Victor Oladipo. Victor Oladipo didn't just improve, he exploded. Traded to Indiana as part of the Paul George deal, most people saw him as filler, a guy who never quite figured it out in Orlando or OKC. Then 2017 happened. 23 points per game, league leader in steals, All-NBA, All-Defense, and a fan favorite overnight. He turned the Pacers into a threat, nearly knocked out LeBron in the first round. He looked like the next face of the franchise. Until January 2019. Oladipo landed awkwardly chasing a loose ball, and everything snapped. A ruptured quad tendon, one of the rarest, hardest injuries to come back from in pro sports. He missed a full year, came back, and wasn't the same. The burst was gone, the rhythm was off, the confidence shaky. He bounced from Indiana to Houston to Miami. Each stop came with more hope and more setbacks. Then another surgery. What made Oladipo great was his explosiveness and defensive edge, and those were the first things to go. Number 8. Amari Stardomire. For a few years in Phoenix, Amari Stardomire looked unstoppable. 6'10", freak athlete, elite timing on pick and rolls, and a soft touch around the rim. He was the perfect finisher for Steve Nash, catching lobs, punishing defenders, and putting up 25 a night with ease. He made 5 All-Star teams in 6 years, and then his knees betrayed him. It started with one word: microfracture, one of the most dreaded surgeries in sports. Doctors drill holes in your bone to regrow cartilage, but it's never the same. Amari came back strong, but the long-term effects were already creeping in. He joined the Knicks in 2010 and looked incredible for a stretch, scoring 30+ in 9 straight games, MVP chance in Madison Square Garden. But the knees didn't hold. Year by year, minute by minute, they gave out. He went from All-NBA to backup in the span of 3 seasons. He was only 29 when the decline became permanent. And that's the tragedy. Amari didn't age out, he broke down. In a different body, he might have been a Hall of Famer. Instead, his prime was short, violent, and unforgettable, but gone too soon. Number 7. Sha Livingston. Sha Livingston was supposed to be a star. Drafted 4th overall out of high school in 2004, he was a 6'7" point guard with vision, feel, and poise way beyond his years. He was drawing Magic Johnson comparisons before he could legally drink. Then came February 26, 2007. A fast break, a simple layup attempt. in one of the most gruesome injuries in NBA history. Livingston tore his ACL, PCL, MCL, dislocated his kneecap, and fractured his leg all in one play. Doctors said he might lose his leg. Basketball, that was secondary. He missed 2 full years, and when he came back, he wasn't the same player. The quickness was gone, the bounce, gone too. But he adapted, no more above the rim flash. Instead, he carved out a role as a steady mid-range assassin off the bench. He became a crucial piece of the Warriors dynasty, winning 3 titles and earning league-wide respect for his composure and clutch play. Livingston didn't live up to the hype, but he redefined what success looks like after devastation. A career that could have ended in tragedy turned into one of the greatest comeback stories in league history. Number 6. Brandon Roy. Brandon Roy didn't take long to make his mark. In just his second season, he was already an all-star. By year 3, he was averaging 22 a game, hitting game winners, and earning all-NBA honors. He was the perfect lead guard. Smart, calm, clutch, the type of player who made the game slow down. And then, his knees gave out. Roy was born without enough cartilage in his knees, and by 26, the bone-on-bone pain became unbearable. He had surgeries, trying to play through it. In 2010, he managed to return for a playoff game against Dallas and dropped 18 in the fourth quarter, a moment of pure magic. But it was a last gasp. He retired not long after. Briefly tried to come back with Minnesota, but his body wouldn't cooperate. In an era filled with elite guards, Roy was quietly becoming one of the best. But time and genetics cut him short. If not for his knees, we're probably talking about a Hall of Famer. One of the best two-way guards of his generation. Instead, we remember the flashes. Number 5. Yao Ming. Yao Ming wasn't just tall, he was great. The footwork, the touch, the basketball IQ. He was 7'6", but he played with the polish of a veteran and the discipline of a surgeon. Yao made 8 All-Star teams in 8 years. He was averaging 25 and 9 at his peak, anchoring a Rockets team built to win. The first red flag, a broken toe. Then a fractured foot. Then a stress fracture in his tibia. One by one, his lower body began to collapse. In 2009, he helped push the Lakers to 7 games, playing like a superstar. But right after that run, another foot injury. This time, career-threatening. He missed an entire season, tried one last comeback, but his body simply couldn't take the pounding. By age 30, Yao Ming was done. If he had stayed healthy, there's a real argument he'd be a top 5 center of all time. He changed the game globally, made the Hall of Fame, and became a legend in China. But as a player, we were robbed of his true prime. His mind and skills aged like wine. His body just couldn't follow. Number 4. Grant Hill. Before the injuries, Grant Hill was that guy. He averaged 25, 6, and 5 in his final year with the Pistons. He wasn't just making all-star teams, he was being compared to MJ. When he hit free agency in 2000, every team wanted him. He signed with Orlando to join forces with Tracy McGrady. It was supposed to be the NBA's next great duo. Instead, it was the start of a nightmare. Hill suffered an ankle sprain at the end of the 2000 season. He rushed back for the playoffs, and it never healed right. That one injury spiraled into 4 surgeries, infections, months in the hospital, years of rehab. From 2000 to 2004, he played just 47 games total. Eventually, he reinvented himself as a role player, later playing key years in Phoenix and Atlanta. But the burst, the aggression, the stardom, it was gone. If he stays healthy, we might be talking about a top 20 player all time. That's how special he was. But one decision, to play through an injury, cost him everything. Grant Hill didn't just lose his prime, he lost the chance to chase greatness, right when it was within reach. Number 3. Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway was ahead of his time. A 6'7" point guard with elite handles, court vision, and flair, he was the perfect running mate for Shaq in Orlando. By his 3rd season, he was averaging 21, 7, and 4. 3 straight All-Star nods, 2 All-NBA first teams. He wasn't just flashy, he was efficient, explosive, and smart. But in 1997, it all came crashing down. Penny suffered a knee injury early in the season. He tried to play through it and made it worse. He had surgery, but the damage was permanent. He lost his quickness, his burst, his ability to blow by defenders. Penny never looked the same again. He bounced from Orlando to Phoenix to New York. There were moments, sure, but they were just echoes of what he used to be. He was supposed to be Magic Johnson 2.0. Instead, he became another what if in NBA history. And that's what makes Penny's story so hard to watch. He didn't age out, he didn't lose motivation, he just couldn't move the same way anymore. And for a player who relied on grace and explosion, that was everything. Number 2, Tracy McGrady. Tracy McGrady made it look easy. He could pull up from 30, rise over 3 defenders, drop 40 with no emotion. For a few years, he was neck and neck with Kobe. And in the early 2000s, some even said he was better. 2 scoring titles, 7 straight seasons, over 24 points per game. He could guard 4 positions, make every pass, and score at all 3 levels. But his back wouldn't hold. It started small, spasms, tightness, soreness. Then came the knee issues, surgeries, missed games. By 2008, he was still young but looked old. The explosion was gone, his posture changed, his first step gone. The most frustrating part, his mind was still elite. He could see the game, read it perfectly, but his body wouldn't let him act. And just like that, he was gone from All-NBA to role player. By 30, the decline was steep. By 33, he was out of the league. T-Mac still made the Hall of Fame. But the one knock on his legacy, the lack of playoff success, feels unfair. Because when he was healthy, he was a killer. He just didn't stay healthy long enough. Number 1, Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose wasn't just a star. He was a movement, the youngest MVP in league history, exploding through defenses like a cannonball, double clutch layups, spin moves in traffic, floaters off one leg. He was Chicago. He was next. And then it happened. April 28, 2012, Game 1 versus the Sixers. The Bulls were up double digits with a minute left when he tore his ACL. He missed the entire 2013 season, and when he came back, it wasn't the same. More injuries followed. Meniscus tears, surgeries, rehabs. Each time he showed flashes, but never for long. What made Rose special was his explosiveness, and that was the first thing he lost. He reinvented himself years later as a scorer off the bench, dropped 50 in a Timberwolves jersey, earned standing ovations in arenas he'd never played in. But the MVP version of Derrick Rose, that guy was gone at 23. No player in recent memory had a rise that fast, and a fall that brutal. Derrick Rose didn't just lose his athleticism, he lost the future we were all ready to witness. These weren't just injuries, they were turning points, moments that changed lives, legacies, and NBA history. Some of these players came back, even reinvented themselves. Others faded into silence, but all of them had something in common. They were never the same again. And that's what makes the NBA so ruthless. It's not just about talent, it's about survival. One wrong step can erase years of work. One bad landing can rewrite everything. So the next time you see a player dominate, remember how fragile it really is. 98% of people who watch these videos still aren't subscribed. If you're enjoying this kind of deep NBA storytelling, take 2 seconds and hit that sub button. It really helps more than you know.